Good morning, everyone. My name is Audrey. I am Stitchywitch42 here on FlossTube and over on Instagram. This is my channel about cross-stitch, life, the universe, and everything. Today is Monday, the 30th of January, 2023, and it is cold outside. 21 degrees, clear skies, sunshine, and cold. I have my Yoda slippers on. My toes are cold. Yoda keeps me warm. So this morning when I got up and I was having my breakfast and I was on my laptop, I found out that one of my childhood icons has passed away, Lisa Loring. And if you don't know who Lisa Loring is, she was the original Wednesday Addams. I grew up watching the Addams Family. That was my show, and seriously, they influenced me for a lifetime. She passed away on the 28th of this month, just a couple of days ago. She was just a little bit older than myself. And I felt so sad. So very sad. I used to watch that show and I wanted to be Morticia Addams. But I was neither brunette nor slender. When my daughter told me that I was going to be a grandmother, I thought, this is my moment. I am Grandmama. And that's what my kids call me, Grandmama. When I first started FlossTube, I wanted to have cards to send out to people, random happy mail or replies or whatever. So the first thing that I did is I went online and I found a collection of cards from the Addams Family. There's still some in here. They influenced me. They have my whole life. Several years ago, I'm thinking maybe 20 years ago, I found a couple of Halloween votive holders and I bought them. And at that time, I bought them to take to my work because I needed something on my desk to hold paper clips and rubber bands. So I bought these. They're hands. I had a coworker that, I did put these up at Halloween time in October of that year. And when it was over, she goes, "Are you getting rid of those? Because they're really creepy." So I brought them home eventually. Because since I knew that they were creeping somebody out, I had to keep them just a little bit longer. Yes, that's me. But one of them has been my Ort catcher for years. This is my thing. The Addams Family has influenced my life, and I was very sorry to hear that Lisa Loring passed a couple of days ago. So I think this afternoon I will be watching some reruns of the Addams Family because I have all the DVDs. Yeah, that's my plans for this afternoon. You want to talk about cross-stitch instead? I know. I am creepy and that was the first song that I taught my granddaughters. We'd be driving down the road and they'd want me to sing a song. So I taught them the creepy and the kooky. That's what they called it. The Addams Family. Okay. Subject for today. To frog or not to frog? That is the question. I have been cross-stitching for 43 years. I know that because the first piece I stitched was for my daughter. She's 43. She gets mad whenever I say that because she still says that she's in her 30s. She's so cute. Anyway, in that time, on various Facebook groups, on floss tube channels, it's come up, do you frog or do you not frog? For me, it all depends on what the project is. I have stitched, well, I'm stitching my 4th Alphonse Mucha. I'm not showing it today because I haven't done anything on it since the last time I went to First Thursday at the beginning of the month. But on my Alphonse Muchas, because they are full coverage and there is a lot of confetti in them, it all depends. If I stitch, if I'm looking at the symbols, I think my current one has 98 colors. So we've got all the capital alphabet, all the lowercase alphabet, we've got numbers 0 through 9, and then we have a bunch of symbols. So sometimes it's easy to mix up which one you're doing, right? If I stitch a dark stitch in a light background that's not supposed to be there, I'll unpick that one. On the other hand, if I put a light stitch where a dark stitch would be, I just stitch over it with the darker color. I think I've done that in every single one of my Alphonse Muchas. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have, because there's so much. And I'm not one of these stitchers that, I watch a lot of people who stitch Hades or other full coverage pieces, and they do the 10 by 10 squares. I started doing that 43 years ago. I got past it real fast. I'm more of a cross-country with one color person. So there is no rhyme or reason as to how I stitch, and trying to unpick when I'm going up and down and backwards and sideways and all over the place, yeah, that doesn't work. If it's a wrong color, if it's a dark color, I'll cut it out because those flosses are going to get caught by the other stitches. If it's a light color and needs to be covered with a dark stitch, I just cover it. Works for me. On the other hand, if you need to have a border match up, then there may be frogging. Okay, there's no maybe about it. There's frogging. I started a piece the other night. It's a freebie from That's So Kelly. I get her emails every month. And I saw this pattern and I thought, I have to stitch that. I only have, I think, 7 projects that I'm working on. But sometimes you need that new start. You need something small to break it up, to put some new life into your stitching. And that's what this pattern did for me. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram. When I was stitching it, it's a square, but it's a diamond shaped square, right? I did side 1 and it was fine. I did side 2 and it was fine. I did side 3 and it was looking like a rhombus rather than a square. And I realized it was because I didn't have my fabric in my Q-snap straight. So I straightened the fabric and I had finished probably 2/3 of side 3. Pause. I had finished 2/3 of side 3 when I straightened out the fabric in my Q-snap. And I went down and I started stitching the 4th side. And in the back of my mind, this little voice said, there's something wrong here. But I didn't listen to that little voice. You should listen to the little voice, okay? The little voice is trying to tell you something. I didn't listen to that little voice. I finished the 4th side. I'm coming back up to meet up where I ended on the 3rd side, and I was a half a stitch off. Now the little voice in the back of my head is saying, Audrey, it's the fourth side. Did I listen? No. I unpicked the third side, restitched it again, realized I'm still a half stitch off, and then I went back and I looked at the fourth side, and yes, it was the fourth side where my little brain had said, it's off. It was off. Oh my gosh, it was off. So I unpicked all of that, finally got the diamond-shaped square stitched, and then started the words in the middle of it. So this is a start and a finish. It is called Be Kind. It is a freebie from That's So Kelly. If you want it, you need to go sign up for her emails. But this is, okay, my camera's upside down again. This is Be Kind. It, in all ways, be kind. This was my problem spot right here. Now the funny thing is, I have recounted these sides so many times, and they're all the right number of stitches and everything, and still somehow or another my bead down here is one row off. Not frogging that one. The border, yes. The bee butt, no. In all ways, be kind. So, start and finish. So when I got done with that, I went back to stitching my mill hill. This is the pattern. It's a buttons and beads. It's called Midnight Glow. And I would say that this is a Halloween piece. But I think I mentioned a couple of videos when I was talking about this one. I actually want to stitch this for Candlemas or Imbolc, February 2nd, Groundhog Day. The return of the light from the winter skies. Groundhog Day, Imbolc, halfway between winter solstice and spring equinox. No matter what the rodent says, we still have 6 more weeks of winter, and today it's 21 degrees outside. So I made a mistake on this one too. This one I did not frog because it didn't affect the overall look. I'm going to use my Q-snap. So on my camera, my image is upside down, which is really confusing as all get out. This is my finished piece of Midnight Glow, the buttons and beads mill hill kit. What I did on this one, when I was stitching across this way at the very beginning of it, I actually miscounted. And when I went back and I looked at where I miscounted, somewhere around here, I missed a stitch. But I looked at the pattern and realized that missing that 1 row of stitches was not going to affect the overall completed look of it. So I just took my pattern, I just had it here a moment ago, and I put an orange, okay, that way, an orange line where that missing row was at, so that as I was stitching, I could go forward and stitch on either side of that orange row and make it come out. So this is my finished piece. I think that this is just gorgeous. Of course, I didn't stitch the cobwebs or the spiders because I don't like them. But I don't know if you can see how dimensional this is with the beads. I think that this is just gorgeous. As I was going along and I was putting the beads in, there's just 4 colors of beads here. There are clear beads, around the candlelight. They're called rainbow petites. They're not black, they're iridescent. So the black iridescent beads, some of them look coppery, some of them look purple, some of them look green. They're just gorgeous. And then there's 2 shades of orange beads in here that is the dripping wax. I absolutely love this. So I'm not going to frame this. I'm thinking that this is going to be made into a folded flat mount. And that is my second finish. I just love this. I've had this kit for a long time, and I don't know what took me so long to get started on it. I just think it is so, so pretty. So, one I frogged, one I didn't frog. And then there's the third one that I frogged. I was talking to one of my subscribers in comments and from my last video, and she said that she was finally caught up watching me again, and the piece that she missed having me show was my Halloween Village afghan. And right after she said that, it's like, you know, I need to stitch that because I can get all curled up in my chair. I have my one blanket on me, and then I have my afghan on top of me, and I'm stitching away at it, and I'm nice and warm. So I pulled out my Halloween Village afghan. It is Stony Creek pattern, 30 pages. There's 5 across each row. I'm technically working on page 7, but I've got pages 9 and 10 also done because I'm random. I go wherever I want. It really helps when you're putting batteries in your camera if you put them in the right way. 2 are supposed to be positive, 2 are supposed to be negative. I had 3 positive and then couldn't figure out why my camera wouldn't turn on again. It's natural, people. It's natural. Okay, I was talking with one of my subscribers. Her name is Lover Song. I know she has been a viewer for a long, long time, and she was saying that she'd finally caught up watching my videos, and the one that she misses seeing me post pictures of is my Stony Creek Halloween Village afghan. I posted a picture on Instagram. I'm working on the banners that spell out Halloween. I was working on specifically the one for the H. I had stitched the top of it and filled in some of the yellow below that, and then I decided that I was going to go down and I was going to do the orange outline for the bottom of the banner. When I was coming up from the bottom, that orange wasn't meeting up where it was supposed to meet up. So I sat there and I looked at it and I looked at it and I looked at it, and I realized that I had made the top of the banner too wide. This is definitely one that I have to frog. So I did. Stony Creek pattern is a booklet. If you look at each page, and yes, I'm showing a page, go ahead and try to stitch the whole thing from it. There is the overlap on each page. There's the top of the banner here. There's the top of the banner here. The rest of the banner is on 2 other pages. And it was that overlap that got me. I had stitched the two pendants over here on this part of the banner and did just fine with them. But that corner of the H, it got me. So I had to pick out all of those stitches on here and redo it. So I picked it out to as far as, I picked out all the orange, I picked out all the yellows, I picked out part of the black to where I thought it was. And what I did this time is that I went from I came up to here where I have the check border, and I counted how many little squares that was supposed to be, and I counted from that point down to where my stitches were supposed to be, giving myself a secondary starting place. And doing that, I was able to go back and get my H done, to get the top of the H done. And what I'm saying here is, in order to match this side up here, I had to count from this square up here to get the right number of stitches for the black. I then did the yellow outline, I did the orange outline, and I got the H done. And then I went over and I did the same thing with the A pendant. And I thought, this is what I need to do since I'm having issues in this area, is just do the outlines for these pendant pieces. And when I get the other two pendants done, I will have the full banner spelling out Halloween completed. So I'm going to pause my camera, I'm going to move it because I want to stand up and show you the whole stitched piece. And the way I have things set up here right now, I'll knock something over. Hold on. So here you are. This is where I am at with my Halloween Afghan, Halloween Village Afghan. I am currently working on the pendants for the H and the A, and I'm going to go out and get that, go down and get the other two pendants stitched so that I will have that banner complete. Okay. The other thing I got finished was this pumpkin down here. That is where I had left off working. So I came in and I got that one finished, came over, worked on my pendants. I will be working on this today while I watch some Addams Family, because it seems like the thing to do. Alrighty. Looking at my notes, silks. I was doing a giveaway, a pass along. Who knows what we're going to be calling it now. Apparently there are trolls that have figured out how to go in and leave comments on people's comments that lead them to different websites. I haven't been affected by that. I've watched several other people who have. If somebody wins something from me, I'm going to go on their comment and I'm going to say, I drew your name, please send me an email with your name and address, which is what I did for the winner, who was Lover Song. I'm not going to send anybody to sign in on some random link or do anything like that. Don't feed the trolls. Report them, block them. That's all you can do. Unfortunately, there's some people who have no life and they think doing things like that is fun. I don't know. Anyway, so the winner of the Silks for You PR168 is Lover Song. Please send me your name and address and I will get those sent out to you as soon as I can. And I think that's everything that I have to talk about today. Oh, I had my CAT scan done last week, this week. Sometime within the last 2 weeks I had my CAT scan done, my post-ruptured appendix CAT scan. I was really pleased. I didn't get an immediate call back from my doctor saying that there's something else wrong with me. I count that as a win. On the other hand, when I walked in there, the technician told me, first off, she goes, "You look so much better today than the last time I saw you." She was the one that did the CAT scan the day I was admitted into the hospital. So, of course, they sent a report to my health. I opened it up, I read it. I tried Googling all the words to figure out what it said, but, you know, I couldn't. So, I will be seeing my doctor. I think my appointment with my doctor is the 23rd of February. He will tell me what those words mean. I feel good. And yeah, we'll move forward from that. Until we meet again, my friends, live long and stitch on. Bye-bye.